to a brand new episode here on Britain's Farm. So, busy day today, bit of a different video, just trying something out. We're not going to do time-lapse in this video, so the video is going to be me doing my jobs, and then when my jobs are finished, we will end the episode there, and we'll just sort of see how that works. So it might be a shorter video, it might be a bit longer video, I don't know, but planned for today, spray this field, and then we come all the way over here. Probably gonna maybe at the end spray this field again, just because there's lots of areas that have been missed, and I'm not overly sure why. I know I did the sprayer was the wrong width, so we might have to do it. And also as well, we have got some rubbish in here. The rubbish I'm going to leave as a kind of sort of almost self-punishment for not making sure the sprayer was wide enough in the first place. So the weeds I'm going to leave, but there's no reason why we can't liquid in it just to get it done. And then we've got the field here behind the farm, or the shed, or sheds, because there's two there. We've got this field here, this millet that needs doing as well, and then we've got the two rape fields here done. The wheat has caught me out. I've got to be honest. It's caught me out because my plan was always that June was going to be the last round of spraying on all the crops before harvest, and for whatever reason the wheat has become ready in June, and wheat in this country is obviously never ready in June. And like a Wally, again, didn't really check the growth calendar, because had I have checked the growth calendar, I would have set it in either sort of November, March time to make sure that it didn't come so early. But it does still need spraying, because as I say, the plan was that June was going to be the last round of spraying for all the fields. This video was sort of going to be, it's still going to be the same, but it's been spoiled a little bit by the fact that the wheat is now ready to harvest. And we also need to come over here and spray the oats as well. So yeah, so sort of for those that sort of like it to be sort of realism and sort of what have you, I apologise that this week has come in June. It's caught me out. I sort of loaded the game in this morning, flipped it over to the next day, because at the end of the last video, when I got all the bales done, I think it was about 9 o'clock in the evening by the time I got them all loaded and then taken over to the sell point, because we sold all of our bales. It was about 9, and I thought, well, I'll flip it over to the next day, because it's going to be my sort of last preparation day before harvest. The title of the video was prep day before harvest, which the YouTube tutorials would say that's not a very catchy title, James, but whatever, it is what it is. It was a prep day before harvest. But yeah, so it's kind of spoiled a little bit, but anyway, as I say, I have taken the liberty to already fill the sprayer up so that you didn't have to see that, although I could have showed it really. I'm quite interested. Yesterday I was looking around at a few different mods to see, just to kind of see whether we could sort of if there's any sort of good mods that I'm missing out on. And I did see one that I may have missed, which was I can't remember the name of it now, but I'm sure it was by Whoopster, which is where you can get a pipe and a spray tank, and you can fill the sprayers up via the pipes. That seems quite an interesting concept, and I maybe wouldn't mind having a look at that. I haven't put it in today, just because obviously we're not set up yet for this. But if that is a thing, and I'll try it sort of on I have a map that I have where I try all my mods out and try everything out before they go into any of my save games. I might try it out, and when we come to develop that rape field over there, I might put a couple of tanks in, for herbicide and for liquid N, and see how that goes. I'm quite interested in that. That's sort of quite a nice addition to the game. That I didn't realise that was out. The reason why I want to get rid of this, in real life, I wouldn't have, if I were, if I was a farmer in real life, I wouldn't have a spreader. Yes, they can be incredibly useful, and yes, they can, they have their purposes and their uses. But why would I want to buy two machines when this machine can spray liquid N, herbicide, and anything else that we can sort of want to put on? I mean, there is a mod that you can even put liquid lime on, and I've looked it up, and I didn't actually realise, but on the farm that I worked on, our potato land was liquid lime sprayed. I always thought it was spread. So that shows you how much about I knew where I worked, but most of the time I was out ploughing, so I didn't really get involved with any of that. But I always assumed they spread it, but no, they did spray it on. Omex used to come down and spray it for us, apparently. But yeah, anyway, first job of the day is not that. Is on my zoom in and out is on my steering wheel, and up is to zoom in, down is to zoom out. But if I happen to just catch it to the side, it tabs, which is really annoying. But I wasn't actually tabbing to another vehicle, I just caught the side of the button. But first job of the day, we need to go and fill this up with diesel, and then we'll spray the wheat and the oats on the way back, and then we'll spray the other two fields, and I might even just run again over that mustard field. But the problem is that obviously we're going to be treading quite a lot of that down. I know I have crop destruction off, and the reason I have it off, and the only reason I have it off, because I think it's a great idea, I think it's a good thing, but the reason I have it off is because of the game works on as what I would class it as, and bear in mind I'm not computer savvy in any way, shape or form, and I have no real idea about how textures and things work, but this is kind of my understanding from Squirrel and a couple of other YouTubers. If you haven't checked Squirrel's YouTube channel out already, go check it out. He does Euro Truck and sort of Microsoft Flight Sim and loads of different games. And his My Summer Car series, honestly, is an absolute hilarious scream, along with his I forget the name of the Landlord Super. Honestly, those two series that he did on YouTube are absolutely hilarious. They are really funny and well worth a watch. But as I say, he's sort of not in Farming Sim, but in other games where it's a similar sort of concept to farm. Jesus Christ, come on. Bloody granddad's out for a Sunday drive. Come on, get on with it. Some of us have got work to do. Is that the ground is made up of pixels, and with crop destruction, so if I was to come into the field like this here, from what I sort of understand of it, and as I say, it's not a great understanding, but as I come in, if these pixels or the textures are slightly out and they're overlapping pictures, suddenly you don't just take the wheel width anymore, you're then taking a considerable amount of crop. And that's kind of like with my sort of OCD and stuff like that. I just kind of like, no, that's not on. That's not on. You should just be taking the wheel width. The wheel should be treaded. And even in real life, I mean, just because you've treaded on the crop, you don't lose the crop. You push it down, you flatten it, but the crop is still harvestable. You don't lose it entirely. So as I say, like sort of it does. Just lift that up a little bit. It does annoy me, and that's the reason why I don't use it. As I say, just, oh, for goodness sake. Well, that's scorched and burnt the crop to buggery, isn't it? I'm gonna have to change the mapping of that, because I just don't use tabbing, so I'd kind of leave it on the steering wheel, because I don't use the steering wheel very often, but when I'm recording, it's just easy to reach for the steering wheel D-pad and do it. But never mind. But yeah, so as I say, that's the reason why I don't use crop destruction, is because it takes too much. And I mean, the textures on this map are not that bad, as you can tell from the tram lines. I mean, you can always tell how bad crop destruction is going to be on a map by doing some tram lines. If you do some tram lines and they work out sort of as tram lines should work out, it's not going to be overly too bad. Again, sort of on my own, because I did my own save on this for quite a long time, because I've had this. I converted this, I don't know, not quite a year into Farming Simulator 22. I converted it and I had my own save game on it, and eventually I got to where I owned the whole map, and sort of farmed on a mega scale. I sort of did farm developments, I did production developments, and all sorts of great sort of good stuff like that, sort of thing. It's the way I enjoy the game. Is because it can be, not in the beginning on hard. On hard, it is hard to start making money, but once you get beyond a certain point, you do make a heck of a lot of money. And I hate looking at my bank account and seeing like 23 million quid in there. It like drives me scatty, because I think farmers just don't live like that. Farmers, don't get me wrong, they're probably, you know the better farmers in I'm not concentrating. The better farmers in life are living very sort of comfortable, not millionaires probably, but living very comfortably. Um, but So yeah, I tend to sort of to develop farms, build farms, move, go elsewhere, etc., 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 to try and sort of keep it semi-realistic, where I haven't got, as I say, a gazillion pound in the bank account. Alright, what we need to do here. Normally, that's not wide enough. Normally, I would just drive up to it and then just go round it and then back up to it, and yes, you do miss a bit of crop like that, and I usually do it as well because I haven't got section control, so I'm sort of overlapping. And then we'll do the same this side, and then you don't miss it. I mean, it's not overly important, or significant that you miss this little bit around here. Just because it's really not going to produce that much grain, and it's really not going to produce that much in the way of profit. But I do like to try and do it properly if I can, and it just kind of makes me feel a bit better. But yeah, so as I say, I tend to do productions and all stuff like that, and which I think eventually this save game is going to come into its own a bit, because as I say, I'm hoping that this year I'm going to have enough to do farm developments and expansion, and also then land expansion, and then and still keeping it to the toys. I mean, the machinery that we use will be models that I've had, but I'd sort of like a little bit more variety in what we're doing, video from video, because again, I make no apologies, because it is a farming channel, and unfortunately farming is a lot of grass cutting, is a lot of spraying, is a lot of fertilizing, is a lot of the sort of same jobs repeated. It's the same as if you were watching a channel on Football Manager. Essentially every video is just going to be me playing football games and managing a team. you know, as much as I can sort of try and find different things to do, unfortunately, I just want to make sure this is actually still working, even though the crop's ready. Yeah, that's okay. That's good enough. As long as it's going up a little bit from 50%. I mean, it could be, rather than spraying liquid N on here, we could be saying that we're spraying Roundup on here and just making sure that we are killing the crop off properly. We're going to harvest this wheat, this wheat when the oats and the rapeseed are ready to be harvested, which, as I say, will be in the next episode. And it's also the reason as well, just going back and finishing what I was originally saying about doing, excuse me, crop farm developments and stuff like that. That's the reason why I want to do a save game specifically for that, where the end, it's a big map, massive map, and the end goal is we own everything, we have all the productions, we're doing everything, and what have you. But I want a save game sort of specific to that, and I also would like that save game to be a sort of story-based save game. The only thing is, like I say, I'm not great with computers. I'm not great with the editor. I'm not great with, a lot of things. As I say, up until my heart finally gave up, tractors were my thing. And, I worked on a farm, I could program the computers inside tractors, no trouble at all. Get home, PC, the ex-missus would say, oh, something wrong with my laptop. Don't ask me. Yeah, but you program them computers in your tractors. Yeah, because I know what I'm doing. It's like home computers now, I don't have a clue. So that's why I sort of tend to try and keep things as sort of simple as I can. I said about I sometimes run out of memory, and this is why the video recorder that I've got, or screen recorder that I've got, stops recording. And someone said to me, "Oh, that's easy. Defrag your computer. Do this, do that, do that. You'll have more memory." I'm like, "What did you just say?" Oh, it's really easy. You just got to click here, do this, do that, do this, and then I'm like, "Yeah, you lost me at click here." So, but as I say, I've got a map in. Well, I've got two maps in mind that are very big, and it's going to be a proper British map where we're going to do things the British way, where we're going to do things as I would have done them in real life, and I'm going to try and do it fully as I would have done it in real life. And that does include getting better with the mouse and the cameras and making sure that I'm not crashing into everything, because again, not to sort of dwell on it or go on about, when I was younger with my heart condition, I had a stroke, and it's left me with a few mental sort of issues where not only do I struggle to learn new things and I struggle to take things in, it also leaves me with like a delayed mind. So like I I can not really forget things, but I don't sort of recall them straight off. It's hard to explain, and it also impacts on my awareness judgment. So of how things close are to me. I mean, it doesn't help that this game doesn't have no depth perception whatsoever. So that doesn't help. But also as well, even in real life, when I'm driving, and when I was on the farm, I had to physically, like when if I was in a field spraying, I had to physically get out and walk to see whether the gap was there for me to, go past trees or go round, telegraph poles or whatever. And that was the same if I was drilling or anything. It's just one of those things, and sometimes on the game I'll see the traffic and think, oh, I've got loads of time, and then I've misjudged the gap and I've hit, or I think I've gone round the bollards and I've like the last episode, and I've actually caught the bollards. So, but we will try and do it properly, because as I say, I want to do a completely sort of realistic farm, a bit like what Scroff's doing really on the farmhand. Again, if you haven't checked out his channel or seen those videos, go check them out. Honestly, they're absolutely fantastic. The same with Dagwin. I'm sure you've all found those two YouTubers, because their work is in terms of farming sim, is amazing. Well worth a watch and well worth a subscribe as well, because as I say, the content that the two of them in particular make is unreal. But there's loads of brilliant farm sim creators out there that one day I hope to be somewhere near. Probably won't be as good, because as I say, I don't have the sort of computer skills, but sort of try my best, do things my way. And sort of my attitude when I sort of started doing this properly was, I'll do it my way. If people want to watch, they'll watch. If they don't, they don't. It doesn't make no actual difference sort of to my life in a way, because I would play farming sim anyway. So it's not like I'm doing anything sort of outside what I would normally do. And I just, as I say, like, sort of my ex-missus was like, I think you should make videos on that. I think people would, appreciate and be interested in, the fact that, you worked on a farm, and you sort of do things relatively accurately. I'm not going to say perfect, and I'm not going to say that everything I do is the right and proper way, because it, isn't probably to a lot of people, but it's the way I used to do it, and my bosses were always happy with the work that I did. So yes, I carried on doing it, sort of thing, but yeah. So, well, that's emptied the front tank, just the rear tank to go. But yeah, so it's as I say, it's been an enjoyable start to YouTube, and I'm dead proud of everything that I've achieved, and I couldn't have achieved any of it without you guys. So, as I always say in every video, and I hope you don't sort of think I'm being condescending in any way, because I genuinely do mean it. I'm genuinely am sort of shocked and surprised that people seem to like the content that I'm doing. That my videos, although I'm not great with the editor and things, are of a good standard, and are of a watchable standard. And yeah, so I thank you all, and if you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, it really, I used to listen to YouTubers saying that. I used to think, oh, it doesn't make that much of a difference. But now I'm doing YouTube, yeah, it makes a huge difference. A couple of weeks ago, I had a weekend where I got nearly 100 subscribers over the weekend. And a couple of my videos, I think it was two, maybe three of my videos, went over 1,000 views over that weekend, which is insane for me. And honestly, so many more people were reached in that weekend, and so many of those people that were reached over that weekend are watching or as far as I can tell, are watching every video now that I put out, but haven't subscribed. And if they were to subscribe, honestly, that would push me to probably another 200-300 different people. And that's how I can sort of build. My sort of goals for the channel are that eventually, once I sort of do get more computer aware, more computer savvy, I'm looking to do a few computer courses. I want to do live stream, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know what's required. Do you know what I mean? And so I'm looking to do that. I'm looking to sort of develop it because I'm not on Facebook. I'm looking to sort of move out into social media. And the reason I want to do it all is because I want to build a community. I want to build a farming community where, one night a week or whatever, or 2 nights a week, we can live stream, we can get everyone in, we can all talk about farming and our experiences. And, if people have got questions, that I might be able to answer or someone else might be able to answer or whatever, and really build a really sort of good, solid farming community, farm sim community. That's my sort of long-term goals, but that's only going to be achieved the more people subscribe and the more people like and the more people that comment, because that stuff really does help the algorithm. I still don't think I've said that right. Algorithm. There you go. That's got it. And yeah, that's the only way that we're going to grow. But as I say, I've been doing it. So I sort of started last year, and then sort of life got in the way, and one thing and another. And as well, the first time around, the miss, although she suggested it, she suddenly realised that I was going to be spending a lot of time on my computer and sort of recording. Then she sort of got a bit discouraged, and eventually in January this year, she sort of said, "Look, I think you should go back to it. I think you should do it." Because I missed it, that was the thing. I missed doing it, and I've been doing it properly now since January. And honestly, I've just been blown away. I sort of put out a video every day. It would be two, but from the people that I've spoken to on YouTube, like sort of tutorials and that, they've said it makes no difference whether you put like one video out or two videos out. YouTube won't push your content anymore. So you're better off doing one quality video rather than sort of two videos, or sort of two average quality videos. So that's kind of what I'm doing. As I say, a viewer in that fantastic weekend that I had. That's a little bit high, that, James. You're going to get a lot of drift. Suggested about the 200 horsepower challenge, which I hadn't sort of seen since I've been doing videos. I've not sort of been able to watch YouTube quite as much because I spend sort of all day recording and then in the evening editing and trying to get the videos up. It's difficult doing it that way because, as I say, my computer doesn't have a great deal of memory. I would like one day to be able to sort of start, any sort of money that I'm fortunate enough to get from YouTube to invest in, a sort of a proper PC that's going to, be everything that I need, proper sound equipment, sort of really invest everything that I get from YouTube into YouTube. And doing the best videos and sort of organising meetups and stuff like that, and different things, at Llama and different places. And I know it's difficult because people work and that, but that's the sort of thing that I would long term like to think I could be doing and helping other sort of farm sim players, and as I said before, just really get that community going. But anyway, this is going to be the last field for this episode. I'm not going to do the mustard field, just as it's going to be a little bit of a sort of self-punishment for, as I say, not checking that sprayer was wide enough, for the tram lines. So we're not going to be doing that. As I say, that's going to come as a little bit of a sort of kind of you should be making sure punishment to myself. So that's what we're going to do. But yeah, as I say, we've done a little bit of farm prep. As I say, it's been a bit of a different video today. I just want to try it out. If people don't like it, just comment and just say no. I'd rather you do a little bit of talking. Because you just waffle on rubbish all the time, and then do time lapse, and then sort of basically keep the format that I've been doing, which is a little bit of talking at the beginning, a whole load of time lapse, then a bit of talking at the end, and we meet in the bar and call it a draw. if that's what you prefer, just let me know in the comments if you like this and you just want a video of me waffling for half an hour or 45 minutes or however long you want me to waffle on for. Then let me know. It's the interaction from you guys to me, that sort of helps me. If you all think I should give up YouTube, tell me. I'm not sure that I would, but just because I enjoy doing it, and my little boy loves watching my videos, and because he lives with his mum, and he often comes down, oh Dad, I watched this video this week, and oh Dad, I did this week on your channel, and he had a little while of where he was subscribing, unsubscribing, then subscribing, and then unsubscribing because he thought that I was then getting he didn't realise it was being taken away, and I said no, it don't work like that. But no, as I say, I do enjoy doing it. Whether it's ever going to live up to the likes of Scruff, Mr. Silly P, Farm Sim Guy, and the Farm Sim channel and Daggerwin, and on all of them, whether it's ever going to live up to them, I don't know. But I've sort of in this video sort of set out a few goals, ambitions, and what I'm sort of hoping for, and at the end of the day, we're either going to get there or we're not, but hopefully we will. Because as I say, I think it could be a really great thing. But yeah, I do enjoy doing them, and it keeps me occupied. Because I'm gonna say, there's been a few videos where I've sort of mentioned, I'm not going to say much in this video because my heart's sort of either playing up or whatever, or I'm sorry that I might be very breathless on the video because when I'm talking, because I'm struggling to breathe and what have you. But doing the YouTube videos when I'm feeling like that, it does give me a distraction, and it does help me to sort of take my mind off sort of what's going on inside my body. So like I say, I probably would still carry on, but at the end of the day, I don't really get offended by anything. So if you do want to come on here and sort of say, oh, you're rubbish, stop doing it, unburden us from your presence, then, fine, go ahead. Right, that's the spraying done, as you've just seen. And next video will be harvest. We'll be getting the New Holland combine out of the... Have we got any eggs yet? It's not producing as many eggs as I know. Mind you, I've only got 30 chickens, to be fair. But I don't know, that just doesn't seem to be going up all that well. We need some more food in there. And that might be another thing as well that we do next episode as well, is that because it'll be August next episode, I might just at the beginning of that episode, I might just go off and feed all of the animals just to make sure they have got plenty of food over the summer, while obviously we're busy in the fields, because we'll have grass to do again, we'll have the combining to do, we'll have the baling to do. I'm thinking about getting a different baler. So I've been looking at what Britons did in the 1980s in terms of baler, and I think I've found one, a mod that looks very similar to what Britons did. So I'm thinking about getting a new baler, because that baler does have a few errors in it which I didn't realise, and also as well the pickup on it is not quite wide enough for my rows, and it's missing a lot of hay and straw and stuff, and I don't really want that. So yeah, we might be getting a new baler. Well, they've got plenty of feed, so I doubt whether they're going to be running out of food. And just check the cows. Yeah, I really like this area that we built. I think we did a brilliant job. But God, does it annoy me, that grass. I don't know why I get that texture. And I'll say I've cut it, I've painted over it, I've done everything I can think of to get rid of that bloody grass. And every time I reload the game, it's back like that. I even painted all of the paddocks concrete in the vain hope that that would work, but no, it came back to grass, and underneath it's grass again. It came back to poppy flowers and it's grass again. So I have no idea why that is. But I do hate it. But yeah, these gonna need any. See, their health is only 95% as well. I don't get it. Anyway, are they going to need food? No, these are probably not going to need food either. But we might just come along and just top it up. As I say, we separated our straw from our thingy, from our hay. It is my hope that at some point we are going to, I mean, I'm probably not going to be able to do it this year, but we're going to carry on the development this way, and we're going to put a dairy in here, a fairly big dairy. But we'll wait and see. So it will probably come all the way out, if not a bit further out here. And in here we will have, pardon me, for the dairy we'll have separate bale storage. We'll have silage pits, stuff like that. That's the long-term plan for this bit, and that will then be the end of the developments on here. We're then going to move on to, I mean, I might even put it at where I'm going to develop the farm, because I'm not going to need a huge farm. And as Richard has said, you know, we have got these sheds here as well, and although it is a long way away from our farm, we have got his other sheds at his other farm as well. So yeah, and it's a case of all for the future. As I say, I can't wait to that rape field on the left there to get that harvested, and then we can start to get the excavators in and start to level that off and start the work. It's going to be a long, I don't think it's going to be built this side of Christmas, because as I say, once I get it harvested, the plan is we're going to have excavator here, either on the road, and level the ground to the road, so that it's all level, because there is a little bit of a dip, as you can sort of see there. So we'll level it all, just this half for now. Because I mean, I sort of kind of did think, well, should I do both halves? And then one half can be the farm and the other half can be the animals. Then we can move all the animals from up there down to here. But then I thought no, because that was a waste of time building it there. But you know, but I think this would be big enough for the farm and for the animals. But yeah, can't wait. As I say, we'll get the excavators in, we'll get it levelled. Don't know what we'll do with all the soil. Sure, we'll find something to do with it. Yeah, we'll go from there. But anyway, that's a complete and absolute enough waffling on for this video. And I thank you very much for joining me for this sort of kind of experimental video. And I've really enjoyed having your company, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.